Oh, yeah, it's Friday morning, baby. Everybody else going into the weekend. Hopefully, you guys are doing good. It was very interesting, right? Before the show, China Dow brought this up. And I was like, well, no shit, Sherlock Jones. But what were you telling me just now?
I was having a conversation with one of the county officers that likes to come in and use our bathroom 2 days ago. And I looked at her and I go, can I ask you a question? Because you do always answer me honestly. And she goes, yeah, sure. What? And I go, do all cops profile bikers? And she says, yes, we do.
Straight up.
Yes, without hesitation. She
Wow.
said, yes, we do. The minute we see a patch, we automatically assume they're up to no good.
Ah, man, I guess I'm never up to any good.
I guess not. Oh, well, you know.
That fucking bitch.
No, she flat out admitted it.
Well, at least the cop admitted it.
She says they do all the time. Doesn't matter what the patch is.
Government shutdown could impact millions of kids and family. And by the way, about a half hour ago, Dianne Feinstein, the senator from California, has croaked, died. Yes, she just died at the age of 90 while still serving.
Damn.
What does that tell you about Biden? He won't last another term. I think at a specific age, and that tells you it's all about power now. That's all they want to do is keep their power. That's why they croak in office at 90 years old. But what does that say about us as voters? Just keep on voting for the same damn people over and over again and let them die in office.
I'm telling you, they need the younger generation, and I don't mean younger than us. I mean people like our age in office.
And then, at maybe 65, like everybody else retires, they should go.
Yeah, you would think that would be like a thing.
But that just proves to you that all they care about is power.
Holding the upper hand.
And how they make their money.
Mm-hmm.
It is very sad. Those out in California, you kept on electing her.
And look what happened.
And look what happened.
She gone.
And that's going to be the same thing if you guys reelect this freaking Biden, man. It's time for these people to go. And Chaos at 90 years old, she was like non-competent throughout the whole damn last 2 years. She should have retired, but now the leftists got their wish and she just died. Now you're probably going to see an Adam Schiff in there. You guys are so stupid in California to elect a freaking Adam Schiff with those big ass eyes. He looks like an alien. Dude bugs the shit out of me, man. He lies and lies and they still vote for him.
He looks like an alien. I wish I saw what he looked like.
Bill O'Reilly was interviewed by Tucker Carlson, and he said it best. James Buchanan, he was the worst president. Then there's Joe Biden, and Buchanan didn't do shit to stop the Civil War. And a lot of people are coming out right now saying, hey, man, we're in a sticky situation here. All these elitist leftists out of the West Coast say, well, you can't beat the United States military. You know what? Shut up, stupid. Freaking towel heads in Afghanistan beat us. After 20 years, all they did was wear us down. You don't think Americans with all kinds of fucking guns can do the same thing? That's how out of touch they really are. And then this old bastard, he was being heckled from somebody in a crowd when he was giving him a speech, and he says, well, I'll meet you afterwards. You ain't doing shit. You got a bunch of Secret Service. Shut up, stupid. Not even Carter was that bad, Rich. Rich Buchanan, he had the chance to stop the Civil War and he didn't. That's just like Biden. It is so bad out there right now. O'Reilly put us in the comparison of the late Roman Empire when it started falling apart. That's what is happening right now. And during this budget thing, you just said that they're still going to send $300 million to Ukraine. I think I'm getting sick of that. Everybody is getting sick of them sending money to this damn country. If you want to fight a war, fight a fucking war on your own. You don't need us anymore.
Well, and the more they're sending to other countries, they wonder why the government is possibly shutting down at 12:01 Sunday morning.
12:01 Sunday morning, they're supposed to shut down. And you got a list of services
Yes.
that are going to be affected by this type of stuff. And those listening might be affected. What are some of them?
Let's see. This is
She should
it's a
have
long.
this up
I have
already.
it up. It's
Just
a long list.
Just give some.
Food stamps.
If you're on food stamps, you might not get food stamps.
WIC.
WIC is for
Women
the
and infant
babies.
and children for formula and whatnot.
It is funny. I wanted to address something real quick while you read that. With that Hell's Angels thing where they accuse them of a hate crime.
Yeah.
Because they beat the shit out of 3 guys. Well, isn't it a hate crime when a black beats up a white like you've seen in Chicago and stuff, or a white girl they just walk up and knock the hell out of? That is why there is racial tension going on right now, because it's not being applied to both sides. And that crap with the Hells Angels, come on, man. Racial bullshit, shut up, stupid. You know, the East Bay Dragons are one of their tightest things. They're all black. It just infuriates you when they only use it against whites against blacks and not blacks against whites.
Well, Social Security checks will not be affected. They will still be issued. Veteran affair facilities will remain open.
Well, hold on a second here. It's coming in now. Steve, I was on this the other day and your boy BD was playing the race card like a mofo. You know, the race card gets boring. It really does. It gets boring as hell. And it's an ignorant argument. It really is. We've seen rat packing white on white. And now that it happened, somebody that's black, oh my God, everybody's in fucking arms. But again, you should see that disgusting video of about 2 blacks just walking up to a girl, just walking and knocking the hell out of her. But they say the Hells Angels are white supremacists because they wear Swazis and stuff. Give me a break with that bullshit and give me a break with that race card crap. Get me out of here. Come on. Go ahead.
They like pulling that card, don't they?
Well, that's the reason why there's racial strife now. Because that's always being played. And it's always one-sided.
That's for sure. Air traffic controllers and airport personnel will be still on the job, even if it's without pay, unless employees begin to call in sick to work like they did during the last shutdown. So can you imagine being a federal employee and still having to go to work without getting paid?
I don't know, man. They get paid hardcore because they're in unions and stuff like that.
You're like, who cares?
Who cares? You guys get paid exorbitant amounts of money. What do I care?
2.1 million civilian federal workers could see delayed paychecks, and roughly 4 million federal contract workers will receive no paycheck.
Oh, that means the war machine ain't going to get their money. Oh, wait a second. They'll get their 300 million because they're sending that to Ukraine.
Yeah, yeah. So those that have SNAP benefits, formerly known as food stamps, will receive October's nutrition assistance regardless of the potential shutdown. But as far as November benefits, it may be impacted should the shutdown continue. Social services for food and education come to a halt, like the Head Start program, which supports education for 3 and 4-year-olds across the country. Meals on Wheels will also shut down, that bring food to the elderly.
Let's hope McCarthy sticks to it, Steve, because all the Republicans do is talk shit and they got no spine. And, we've talked about this before. We actually have to pay taxes.
Yes.
And at some point, if you have to pay them, and I'm not talking about getting refunds, people. I'm talking about where you actually owe at the end of the year and you got to pay on a monthly basis. We really don't feel sorry for people at that point.
No. We pay every month, so.
And then you get hit at the end of the year.
Yep.
Where
we get
well, what I was trying to say is people think they pay taxes, but they're getting their refunds.
They're getting refunds at the end of the year. We don't know what that is.
So when it comes to these type of programs, I'm like, a lot of people are abusing them.
Yep.
So should I care about this? Am I being mean?
Do I think you're being mean? No. I don't. Other people might, but I don't.
You got to take a look at that last one that we did. When was that one that we were talking about these SNAP benefits and shit?
A day or two ago.
Yeah, I'm a prick when it comes to this stuff, but go ahead.
National parks are expected to close. Visitor centers, campgrounds, research facilities, and museums could be closed for the duration of the shutdown. This would affect events attracted depending on how long the shutdown persists.
And guess what? The Democrats keep just throwing shit down. Elon Musk live streamed the border crisis on Twitter. And he said it directly, man. There has to be more citizen journalism out there because the mainstream media ain't going to tell you shit. That's why you got to go to other places for your news. At least you get some straight up honest stuff right there. Tim Pool's good. You got Sticks and Hammer. He's great. So go to outside news sources or you'll never, ever know what the hell's going on out there in the world. They're mostly propaganda machines. I don't care if it's CNN, Fox News, MSNBC's the fucking worst. So a lot of these, I really don't feel sorry for.
I do feel sorry for one of those.
What's that?
One of these. The shutdown will likely affect some 1.3 million active duty service members.
That I'm pissed about.
That would continue to work but would not get a paycheck.
You imagine that serving this country, and they should be a separate thing, if you ask me.
They should have separate funds just for the military.
Which they get billions of dollars each year. So maybe they should set aside the money for their pay for their soldiers in case something like this happens.
They definitely should. Let's see. An estimated 800,000 Pentagon civilians, some 200,000 would be required to work without pay because they are accepted and roles considered necessary to protect life and property.
You know what? There should be a constitutional amendment like they've been talking where you have to have a balanced budget. Because right now with the trillions of dollars that we owe, we're never going to pay it off. All we're doing is paying interest on it. And they keep on spending. And it goes back to the original fact of, Dianne Feinstein died at the age of 90. Why she was still in office, couldn't function for the last couple years. They only want the power. These representatives think they're above us. And we keep putting them in power. We allow shit where you have a bunch of Democrats that says it's illegal to challenge an election. Well, that's because you cheated your ass off. It was a Chicago rope-a-dope the whole time. But that's all they want to do is keep their power.
Mm-hmm.
and people like us suffer, but we allow it. Why? Because you listen to the propaganda through the news media.
Military commissaries in the US and abroad, which are basically neighborhood grocery stores, will stay open for approximately 60 days into the new fiscal year without appropriations. According to the Defense Department, after the funds run out, only overseas and remote locations will stay open, they warn. The shutdown will also affect those service members scheduled to move to new assignment. That travel will be halted during the shutdown.
Well, yeah, Steve, Chicago did invent cheating in elections. But you got these people out there that really want to believe all the bullshit that happened. That's just like the stuff in Arizona with Hobbs and Lake. Lake was up 10 points in the polls right before the election. Next thing you know, she loses. Come on. Come on. If you're from Chicago, you know what's going on. To let them get away with it is just criminal, if you ask me. It really is, because look at what we're facing as a country right now. We would have never let this Ukraine shit happen if Trump was in office. Nothing would have happened like that because he was too unpredictable. They knew that he wouldn't sit there and let it happen. He'd blow the shit out of you. But now look at the gas prices. My God. Your gas prices is what?
$3.95.
$3.95 and your premiums in the high fours?
Yep. Well, you think
and if you ride a motorcycle, you always put the premium in there.
Well, if you think that's bad, San Diego drivers, gas prices in California have been higher than in many areas of the United States and recently have risen to well over $6 and even $7 a gallon in some parts of California.
And they keep pushing this freaking, you know what? That's what I don't understand about them. This climate change bullshit. You're going to keep on pushing that crap down our throats when you got China and India saying, go screw yourself. Unless you're going to do it all as every country in the world, it's not going to fucking matter. I'm in one of them moods today.
I see.
I am. I'm in one of them moods because this money going to Ukraine is bugging the hell out of me.
Well, all that money leaving.
They even sent in our Abrams tanks over there. What are you giving them people our tanks for? They're going to get captured by Russia. So now they got our technology. They make no sense whatsoever, these people. That's why I believe there is like an Illuminati or there is somebody that has a group out there that is trying to rule the world. Because how stupid are we to give our technology to somebody else to get captured? What if Iran picked that up? Or Korea, North Korea? Now they got our Abrams tanks technology? Come on.
The gas price hike in California is having residents make hard choices. Sometimes they have to choose between filling up their tanks or buying lunch.
And that's true in California. So again, it goes to, why would you vote for a guy like Newsom? That's the kind of guy you want to run up and punch in the face, is that governor out there. But they keep voting for him. So if you're in California, you deserve whatever you're getting. I truly believe that. You deserve it. Just like in Chicago, they deserve it. See, we're lucky where we can run right over to the border and do what we got to do. Most people don't have that.
It's true.
But can you imagine paying $6-7 a gallon of gas?
Well, one resident in California said filling up this thing, pointing at their vehicle, is like $130, who explained has full gas typically only lasts him about a week. So that's $130 a week. That resident.
And what about the people that have to travel 30, 40, 45 minutes to work, an hour? I feel for them.
Well, another resident that owns a roofing company, he has to fill up his trucks, and they're about 150 to fill up each gas tank.
Well, here's the thing, Rebecca, about Canada, and I know you're talking about Canada. You too, you guys up there are voting for the same guy over and over again. You did have a Ukrainian president present a Nazi, and everybody stood up and was applauding him. It's even worse in Canada, but you always vote for them. Just like these people here in the United States vote for these leftist Democrats. And they're usually, you know what? These Democrats are from the West and East Coast, and they're always running everything. Look at the House leadership. They're all from freaking New York and California. And God forbid that any of the mainstream media covers what happened with that Nazi. You're being programmed.
Did you want more on this one?
No, we have to actually go to the news.
Okay.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. Congress continues struggling to come to an agreement on funding bills to avert a partial government shutdown that's now less than 48 hours away. Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz says the proposals he's seen so far don't go far enough in curbing out-of-control federal spending.
My frustration is that we're $33 trillion in debt, running $2 trillion annual deficits with no real end in sight. That's my frustration.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy wants tighter border security as part of any funding package. He says he has discussed that with some in the Democrat-controlled Senate.
I've talked this morning to some Democratic senators over there that are more aligned with what we want to do. They want to do something about the border. So trying to work to see, could we put some border provisions in that current Senate bill that would actually make things a lot better.
The House has said yes to $300 million more in funding for Ukraine. The vote 311 to 117. All of the no votes came from Republican lawmakers.
We have ignition. Strap in. You're about to listen to the hottest sounds. It's the hottest mixtape in the world, and you've got it.
You're listening to Motorcycle Madhouse Radio 861354.
And I really like that one right there, Motoring. Shut it down. I agree. And, you know, I've been doing the same thing, 11, 12, 13, 14 bucks, depending on the prices, filling up a damn motorcycle.
Yeah. I think a couple times we went, it was as high as 13.
Yeah. And then Rich had to give away his 2,500. He couldn't afford to fill it anymore. I think that's what they're trying to do. Is they're trying to price it out where they must have some kind of stock in electric vehicles. You know, you have to, electric vehicles are something else. If you really knew about them, they're dangerous as hell to work on, for one, and they're dangerous as hell on the road. But nobody understands that. Electric vehicles, you still have to burn coal and shit like that, you know, unless you got nuclear. And I agree, make government employees unemployable. That's what I say. Make them unemployable.
That's so sad.
It is sad.
It's sad.
So we been pretty serious the first half of the show. Now we got to get fun.
How we getting fun?
I don't know. How we getting fun?
I don't know. My news stories ain't fun.
Go figure, man.
I couldn't find any fun ones.
Oh my God. I guess there is, and we talked about this. Backlash is brewing over San Francisco. Hold on a sec. I hate when Fox News does that shit. San Francisco's mayor's new drug testing requirement for welfare recipients. What do you think about that?
That all states should do it.
I damn right think so. This is her latest salvo, trying to sound like a conservative in that she's really doing something about drug use in San Francisco. Why would anybody be against that?
Oh, well,
We have to take drug tests for work.
because a lot of people are against it, because if they lose their food stamps, they lose their connects to sell their food stamps to get their drugs.
And then it goes on to say they should be drug tested, and there should be a mechanism in place to not only help them, but ensure that they're tested. So she has done nothing. There's no mechanism in place. This is everybody's coming out. Even the San Francisco Chronicle. Here's your mainstream media. That is our choice to use. Homeless people voice their concerns as well to a local ABC outlet. So homeless people said it's their choice to use. Well, you're homeless. Now, does that make sense?
To what? Have
Where the
homeless people-
the homeless actually told the news agency it's their right to choose to use
to use
drugs.
Well, yeah, everybody has a choice.
But they're homeless. So you think your decision isn't affecting others?
I mean, their decision basically obviously affected themselves because they're homeless.
But do you see the, I don't know, you would say ignorance, or maybe it's to the point where they want to be on the streets?
I doubt it.
If they say it's their right to choose to use the drugs like heroin, fentanyl, then do you think we should flip the bill?
Oh, I don't think we should be responsible for whether or not they have any of that assistance.
And I agree with this statement when she said, but them having addiction to drugs while on a government dime. I like that one.
Just keep in mind your tax money is paying for their, but you're paying for their drugs now.
Have you ever seen one of them tent camps?
No, not in person,
but
in photos and videos. Yes.
How would you want to have your house
next to that?
I
would not appreciate at all. I'd worry on a daily.
Yeah, because you got a bunch of drug addicts, a bunch of criminals hanging around.
I'd worry
shitting on the street.
I'd worry, like, as far as my home is concerned, like if I'm going to be walking out in my yard barefoot in the grass and step on a needle, or I'd be worried for my safety.
But what do you think about these liberals that going, oh, you're too hard on them? Well, you don't live across the street from it.
Well, those people that live right around the area of it, you know, maybe those government people need to take a day in their shoes and live in their life for a minute and deal with having tent communities right next door.
And what do you think about what Steve just said here? A lot of these sheep don't realize homelessness is a lifestyle choice for a lot of these people.
That's true. I think I hate to say it, but I think some people, not all homeless people, but some people, they choose to do it so they don't have to pay bills. You know, why not? Wouldn't that
the smart thing to do is, van life or RV life or whatever. So at least you're not like them.
Well, and there's
that
a lot
line
of them
right there pissed me off because it said it's our choice to use.
Well, there are a lot of people that are homeless that live in their cars and whatnot because for them it's financially cheaper to live in your car than it is to do upkeep on a house.
Which, hey, it's fine and dandy for them.
Whatever works for
but
them.
I'm talking about the ones that are living in these tent camps, these tent cities. And I believe I agree with Steve that, hey, this is a choice.
It is a choice. You can choose to do better for yourself. You can choose to, get up, go to the YMCA, go to a gas station where there's a truck stop, take a shower, clean yourself up, and do something better for yourself.
But when you see them come out and say, yeah, we can use drugs because we choose to, then you shouldn't get nothing on a government dime.
then if that's your goal and you choose to do that and you choose to do those drugs, then I don't think the government should be responsible for giving you a food card.
I think a lot of those type of people that think that way are actually hurting the ones that are down on their luck.
I agree. The ones that sit there and are, making comments like that, they're hurting those that definitely need it, that like a family with 3 children or something that desperately needs that food assistance, and there's not enough money to go around or whatever, because you got people out there like that making the comments, well, we choose to use drugs, thanks for your food assistance.
So they make a assumption that, like we talked about, they're owed something.
Nobody's owed anything. People need to stop that crap and get off the high horse and realize nobody's owed nothing in this world. You get what you get because you work hard to get it. You earn it. You're not owed anything. Nobody should be given handouts.
And that kind of upset you just now. I seen your look.
Yeah. I hate people like that, thinking they're owed something. You're not owed shit. You're born, you live your life, you die.
Mm-hmm.
You're not owed nothing in this world. Nobody's owed nothing in this world.
So should I have any sympathy for people who choose to live, like Steve said, as a lifestyle on the street, using drugs? Should I have sympathy for somebody like that?
Hell no. That's a choice. That is the choice you made. You made that choice. Now deal with your own choice.
Or should I have sympathy for the panhandler over on the corner that's out there holding a sign, help me? Yeah. Well, if you're out there, why can't you get a job?
If you can stand out on the corner and ask for money with your little cardboard sign, then you can also, because you look cleaned up real well when you do that.
Yeah, but they stand there for hours and hours. Okay, then why?
Guess what? You can stand hours and hours on your feet behind a cash register at a job. You can stand on your feet hours and hours at a fast food joint and have a job.
That's just like in Chicago, man. You got to stay away from a lot of the airports, because you got these guys that walk up and just start washing your damn window.
Well, I know our son.
And it's like me, it's like, get the hell out of here, dude. But and it's been a proven fact, they can make 6 digits a year.
6 figures.
6 figures.
Wait.
Just wiping windows off. Sad. They make more than most of us do.
Well, I know. Anytime we see somebody standing like at a stoplight in like on the center median, our son and I, when we're going to like the grocery store or whatever, and they're standing there holding their sign, their cardboard sign saying that we will work for anything. Well, then just go get a job. But
there's tons of jobs out here.
Yeah, there is. But my son goes, Mom, they're like Girl Scouts. Do not give eye contact.
Right?
If you give eye contact like you do with the Girl Scouts selling cookies, Mom, they're gonna approach the car.
And I'm not trying to be a dick.
No eye contact. And it's true. The minute you look at them, they head towards you.
So you got a lot of people that are going to try to spin stuff like this. They're going to be upset about a government shutdown. But what it comes down to is they're going to be upset about not receiving their government cheese.
They're not going to get their government cheese, which they can use to swap for their drugs. Oh, you might have to dry out for a little bit.
Well, not only that, but they're not wanting to work.
No.
Or if they are working, they don't know how to be financially responsible. So now they're going to get pissed off that, hey, I'm not getting my food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
Or I ain't getting my monthly cash that the state gives me.
And guess whose fault it's going to be? It's going to be everybody else's fault.
It's going to be everybody else's fault. And then the Democrats are going to come and say, see, the big bad wolf took away all your benefits.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's going to come out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason, like a friend of mine said, no sympathy for beggars on the corner when almost any staff agency can hook you up with a job, slave labor's hours for money within 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. You can walk
They
in.
can go to an agency.
You can go to an agency. You could walk into any fast food place and get a job. And you know what? It's not it doesn't matter what job you have one.
At least you're self-sufficient.
At least you're going to be taking some responsibility for the choices that you made in your life.
And I think a lot of us that do work hard and do it the right way are getting upset with people who can't do it. I think the society we lived in now is the Me Too and You Owe Me movement.
Well, what drives me insane is those people that have the SNAP benefits, or in whatever it's called, by majority is SNAP benefits, I believe now, but the food stamp, the link card, whatever. And they're pulling up in a freaking Mercedes or a BMW.
Oh my God, I hate that.
And it's like, seriously? Here's most of the world driving with beaters with heaters that are lucky to get it from point A to point B. You're driving up in a Mercedes with your $3,000 food stamp balance. Makes you wonder if the government even pays attention to what they're driving.
And like Rich says, I'm not happy working 13 hours a day, watching other people be able to do things on weekday afternoons that I can't, but I do it because I have to.
Well, yeah, because he knows what he's got to do in life. He's got to make sure his bills are paid.
And I think he said the magic word there.
Have to.
People have to, but they're unhappy with seeing this crap where others don't have to.
Others don't have to because they choose to take advantage of everyone else in the system.
Or when you go to the grocery store and it's an obscene amount of money, but then you have people that abuse the food stamps, that makes you angry. So I think a lot of people are getting angry at this stuff.
Well, it's like, you go and you're waiting in line and you see the person in front of you is using the food stamp card and they got 3 shopping carts worth of food, right?
And you can't even get 2 bags.
And I'm lucky I'm walking out the store with 4 bags of groceries. And it's pathetic. And it's like, geez, you feeding your neighborhood or just your house? Or are you going to take some of that and resell it to get the cash? What are you going to do? Because they do that as well.
Oh, yeah.
I've had customers come in and purchase items inside the gas station and then go outside, which we've had to have them banned from the parking lot and the store. They'll stand out front of our doors and try and resell what they just bought on their food stamp card inside, right there in the parking lot.
Oh my God.
To other customers. That's how pathetic some people are. Because they want the cash. Because, hey, you just bought it. You bought it on food stamps. You can't come in and return it.
No, because it goes right back on the card.
No, it don't.
No?
Absolutely no refunds on food stamps.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, you cannot refund it, because if you refund it, it gets refunded in cash. It does not go back. So no one ever does refunds on stuff that gets bought on food stamps.
Well, that's interesting. I never knew that happened.
Yep. You cannot refund food stamps.
What do you say to people that get mad at you for your opinion on this? Because I've had to delete comments because you had people coming on here and being real pissed off about our views on this.
What kind of comments?
Well, not everybody's like you. That's not in the hard times. Hey, assholes!
You know what?
We're the same way.
I've been through those hard times back when I was pregnant with our daughter. Okay, the first 2 years of our daughter's life, we've been there, done that. Okay,
but we pulled ourselves out of it.
But we pulled ourselves out of it and took care of our own. The first 6 months of our daughter's life, we had rough times. It was very tough. She's now, 26, but those first...
Well, like I say, when you need them, you use them for a little bit.
We've been there.
Well, you don't make a living off
We've been there. I've used food stamps, but you know what? After 3 to 6 months, I was done with it, and I was on my feet again and collecting more money because I found a better job. So we have been there. We know. And that's why it pisses me off when people take advantage of the system, because there's people out there that desperately need it for a short period of time, and they can't get it because other people are taking advantage of it. So what you need to do is stop taking advantage of the system and deal with the having to live paycheck to paycheck like majority of the people in this world have to.
A lot
That-
of our listeners.
That don't get financial assistance through public aid medical cards or public aid food stamps. Get a damn job. Get off your ass. Quit being lazy. Quit thinking the things are owed to you when nobody owes you shit.
Well, you keep on saying get up and get a job, but most of them have jobs, but they don't know how to.
Then you better figure out and get a financial advisor and figure out what you're doing wrong with your money. Stop buying stuff you don't need,
And I think
and worry more about the things you need and not the things you want. You don't need to go to the bar 2-3 times a week. Instead, those 2-3 times a week, you should be getting yourself some groceries
instead of us doing it.
instead of us with our hard-earned tax dollars that we kill ourselves on a daily basis going to jobs and paying for you to have your groceries.
And that's the problem, Melissa, is most of the time it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle to expect this kind of stuff.
Well, and there's a lot of people out there, like we've talked about before, that it's generational and they seen that's how their parents did it. So they just repeat what they saw.
Modern in the galaxy. Let's see here. New poor. That's right. My girlfriend was raised dirt poor and she's good at it. You don't need to drive your car to work. You don't need to eat out. You don't need your entertainment. And I think you nailed it on the spot. A lot of this stuff is because of wants.
It is. I mean, you want the newest freaking iPhone. Do you need it? No.
Shit, my iPhone's like, or my phone's
I mean,
like
it's
real
like,
old.
I mean, I know Hollywood and I are sitting here with not new, brand new phones. Our phones are pretty old, probably about 5-6 phones ago, you know, and it's like, we deal with what we have. I'm not going to be rushing out, oh, the new iPhone's coming out, we gotta get it. No. That's not how this world works. If you can't afford it, you shouldn't have it. Why you need to get a brand new car? What's wrong with the one you got?
Shit, I drive old ass cars. Come on, for one, I like them.
Friggin' Hollywood, you still got to crank that window up and down with the hand crank. It don't
Yeah.
even have automatic windows and door locks.
It's 20 damn years old, but I love my Chevys, especially old Chevy trucks, man. I just love them to death. But you don't see me out there getting one of these $75,000 trucks.
Nope.
For one, you're a dumbass because on depreciation, you're going to lose your ass in the first 2 years. But, you know, you'd have a freaking nice ass freaking truck for under 10 grand.
Yep.
That's just like Harleys. You can have a nice bike for under 5,000.
Well, and how many of those people are going out there buying brand new and within 3 to 6 months they're losing it to repossession because they can't afford
that's been
it?
a lot. You actually have one of the salesmen that come in.
Yeah.
And
he said he actually had to quit working at the car dealership because he was feeling guilty because he knew a lot of people couldn't afford what they were purchasing. And yeah, he was like the top salesman the whole time he was there, but then his guilt got the better of him.
That's the problem with Eagle Mark, with Harley Davidson. They'll finance anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, the bike's getting taken 6 months later.
Yeah, because you can't afford the payments because you went above your means.
Where go on Facebook Marketplace, they got the rider to rider program. You get a freaking nice used bike for $5,000.
Yep.
Right now they're going as low as what, $3,500?
Mm-hmm.
People just can't get rid of them anymore.
Hell, we drive up and down the streets right here in our neighborhood between us and the next 2 towns over. There's bikes in front of people's houses.
Oh,
with
over
the for
the
sale
place.
signs on them.
So why
2,500 or best offer, 3,000 or best offer.
Why go and get a 2023 that's like freaking $30,000 for a motorcycle? Are you real? Never.
Mm-mm.
It ain't gonna happen. Unbelievable.
California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a law protecting doctors and pharmacists who mail abortion pills to patients in other states. The measure seeks to prevent other states from prosecuting or fining doctors and pharmacists in California who help women to end their pregnancies across the country. The California statute also covers the mailing of puberty-blocking drugs designed to help children live as the opposite sex.
Finally! Today's best rock is here.
Hi, we're Larry Knox.
WMMR TV Rockford.
And you're right, Road Rage. Highly financing requirements are that you just have a pulse. I think they actually make, there has to be some kind of scam behind that with Harley Davidson Finance where they'll charge extraordinary interest rates. They'll make that money, but then they'll get the bike repo, they'll get it back and sell it still for a profit. There is something behind Harley Finance, but you do see a lot of that stuff. People, now, is a bike a necessity?
No, it's not. Well, some people, to be honest with you, though, some people it is a necessity because they
Sometimes
don't have a car.
Exactly.
And they do use their bike for their sole method of transportation.
But what if they do have a vehicle?
If they do have a vehicle, it's not a necessity.
So why go out there and fall for the $20,000, $23,000, $24,000 freaking trap? You to buy a brand new car for that much.
Mm-hmm.
So it can just go to show you.
And the payments on a car is for $24,000 is going to be way less than the payments on a bike.
You're damn right, man, especially through Harley
Just saying.
Finance. Big time. What do we got going on in the news?
Well, Chicago, some residents in Lincoln Park said they're going about their day with heightened concern after their safety of an armed robbery. After their safety, oh my God, this makes no sense. Yep, there it is. An armed robbery spree was where a group of suspects targeted people just walking down the sidewalk.
Yeah, I think that's one of the, and you know what? It was black on white and there's no hate crime.
Nope. 4 robberies happened in less than an hour on the north and the west side on last Sunday night. One of the victims said it was the second time that he was robbed.
Rich just said a friend of his just posted a picture of a road glide last night. Brand new, only 27,000. And he was like 20. Well, I was like, only 27,000. Are you on drugs? What do you say? You know what? What if you see that on a friend's post where you're like shaking your head, like, what the hell were you even thinking?
Dude, I see a lot of stuff on my friends' posts, and I actually don't even just sit there and shake my head. I always have to comment and be like, really? Why? And just be like, and do the shaking head emoji or something. I'm like, y'all are whatever.
And Steve, you drove CVO Road Glide. And those things are freaking big time too expensive. I'm glad I got what was mine? 2009, 2008 or some shit.
Yeah.
I'll just wait for it to freaking get older and then I'll buy it, and that's still nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I work things.
So all these robberies were happening within an hour of each other.
They have these roving gangs is what they have.
Yep, and none of them are caught. And
when they are, they just get out.
They just get their hands slapped because it's Chicago.
Yeah, it's just Chicago, so they have no bail here in Illinois.
No. Nope, they ain't got to wait.
And most of your judges are liberal pricks, so they're not going to keep them either.
Yeah, and according to an article I read yesterday, they say so far this no cash bail is working very well for them. Yeah, but not the public. Thank you very much.
Oh, my goodness.
So, a Missouri man was arrested this past Friday after his wife was found dead with his last name written on her leg with blood.
What?
Yeah. John Wonder, 31, and his wife worked at the same company and became subjects of a welfare check after
Britney Spears just had to have one too.
after his supervisor realized they both were absent from work on Friday. So the job called and had a welfare check put on their home. So they did the welfare check and found, according to the police statements, her body was found in the laundry room next to a large butcher knife and a cleaver. She was nude from the waist down with the last name Wonder written in blood on her leg. She also had a belt wrapped around her neck and was bleeding from several puncture wounds in her body.
My goodness.
And it gets better from here. For the record, it was easier and much more satisfying than you can imagine, is what he texted to her phone after this occurred.
Holy, you know what? People are sickening.
I keep thinking about how she never screamed and just took it like a champ. He wrote in a Facebook message to a friend. What a gal, to honor her. I know I will not go without by a gunshot, suicide by cop, but hopefully a similar fate.
People are sick.
He posted for Facebook.
He actually posted this on Facebook?
In a Facebook message to a friend, and he texted her phone about how it was more satisfying doing this to you than I could ever imagine. He texted that to her phone after he killed her. This is how sick this person is.
Is this in Wisconsin?
No, Missouri.
Oh, okay, because Wisconsin, you got all the serial killers up there.
Yeah,
You know, like that one broad that, cut off.
Shabusiness.
Yeah, shabusiness, cut off the freaking head, put it in a bucket. My God. Freaking people are freaking insane now. I think they're watching too much GTA 5. That's a crazy game, man. You do all kinds of weird shit to people. I think that's where they're getting it, especially Wisconsin people.
And I guess the court records show that Wonder has retained an attorney, but it doesn't state anything about whether or not he's going to try and take a plea deal or go to court, because the Facebook messages and the texting to his deceased woman after the fact kind of screwed him. Why would you do that?
You dumbass.
Busted,
man.
You're caught.
See, the ignorance of people, man. What did you just say? Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss, and you can't fix stupid.
You can't fix stupid. Can't do it. Anyway, guys and gals, you have a great weekend. Make sure you're safe out there, and watch out on those bikes. If you're up north, man, make sure you get as much as you can in. The winter is coming, baby. We'll catch on Monday.
And that's it for a Motorcycle Madhouse Morning Mayhem. Don't forget to visit us on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, and all major podcast platforms for all the replays of Motorcycle Madhouse shows. Don't miss out on our lives Monday through Friday.